Hi friends, are you wondering where to live in or around Dallas, Texas, or if you even want to live in this area? Well, we are here today to spill the tea on the lifestyle homes in what we call the Big D. And today we are heading to Plano, Texas. And Plano is number 4 in population size in the DFW area. First is Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, that's a suburb of Fort Worth, and then we have Plano. That's just north of Dallas. I say my kids lived in far north Dallas for a long time, and the school districts don't always align with what the name of the city is. And my girls, even though we were in Dallas, went to Plano ISD. They went through and graduated from Plano West Senior High. And that was a huge graduation. Lots of kids went to the Star Center. Over 1,000 kids. It was a very long graduation. They were just crisscrossing the stage. But I wanted to talk to you today about Plano because Plano it's the 4th largest. It's also, I think, the 10th largest in the state of Texas. And we are about to hit top off at 300,000 people. About 40% English is not their first language spoken at home. Very culturally diverse. And that shows up in the restaurant selections. I am going to talk a little bit about that in this map video, as well as, just kind of some differences in the areas of Plano. You're going to find lots of trees, lots of parks, becoming more corporate as time has gone on than what it used to be. And I think that will increase in the future. So let's just jump in and see what you think. Hey, by the way, if you're thinking of moving this week, or next month, or next year, my team and I, with Where to Live in Dallas, Texas, we're here to help you. All of our information is in the description, and it's tagged to the top of the comments. So you can give us a call, send us a text, an email, or book a Zoom. And we really look forward to hearing from you and meeting you face to face. A Zoom is the best if you can. And remember, don't delay, call Janée. Hey, let's jump right in to Plano, Texas. And if you can see up here, let me grab my little tool. Here's Plano. A little bit of almost a pyramid shape there. It's going to be from downtown Plano over in this area, about 30 minutes downtown to downtown Dallas. Probably about 35 from West Plano. And to get to the DFW airport over here, it's going to be about 30 minutes from East Plano, maybe 25 from West Plano. And East Plano has just opened the Silver Line, the Dart Rail Silver Line. And that's going to be, I think, 55 minutes to downtown Plano. That's just to give you kind of an idea of where Plano is. And you'd think, well, it's just a bedroom community to get to downtown Dallas. Well, not really, because it's had its own corporate presence ever since JCPenney relocated here. You kind of can think of Plano broken into 3 sections, but I think a little bit more 4 actually. You've got the East Plano, sort of east of 75, and you've got West Plano, which is, I'd say, Preston Road, to the other side of the Dallas, flanking both sides of the Dallas North Tollway, and this is sort of central. But I would say that, some of this northern part feels a little more like West Plano than Central Plano. It was built out a little bit later. And we've got, depending on where you live in Plano, you may have toll roads. 75 comes down here. This is 75. And 75 is a free road. But it's also got lots of trucks, and it can get really kind of crazy. You've got George Bush. This is a toll road, also called 190, George Bush or 190. And that one you have to pay for. And then you've got the Dallas North Tollway. That's the D&T. And Dallas North Tollway you have to pay for. And 121. Which is also a tollway, and also called the SRT or the Sam Rayburn Tollway. And those are sort of the confines of Plano, except it spills over in areas and it doesn't quite fill in this area. You've got Allen and McKinney up here. But you're most likely going to be paying tolls unless you can stick to, like, Preston Road comes through here. Here's Custer. We have Hillcrest that from here on up becomes Ohio. So there are some other roads that you're not going to have to pay for, just depending on where you need to go. All right, so we've got East Plano, Central, and West Plano. A little bit of a North Plano also. And that actually kind of starts to feel a little more like Frisco, but if you're south of 121, it is not. I wanted to tell you a little bit about, like, if we go in here to the older East Plano, let's start with that. In the older East Plano, you have, I love the downtown area, kind of here off of 15th Street. Let's see. Yeah, you come into here, you can see the Yours Cafe Vienna. We see the Haggard Park here. Ye Old Butcher Shop. I'm going to tell you about some of these places to eat. Ye Old Butcher Shop, just lunchtime, but fresh, fabulous. That's a great place to eat. I highly recommend it, and it's locally owned. I saw a library pop up. The libraries are great in Plano. Okay, so here is Heritage Farmstead Museum. That's a couple acres saved back that shows, kind of lets you step back into the past and see what Plano was like with the early settlers. That's a great place to take the kids. Definitely want to check that out. Let's see. That's some of the stuff East Plano. We've got a tons of good shopping. There used to be Collin Creek Mall there. It's not anymore. That's gotten redone. All right, this wider area is Plano. Central Plano. So East Plano built out 70s, 80s, mostly, I would say. Some of the stuff up here a little bit north, a little bit later. This Oak Point Nature Park Reserve is really beautiful. That's 800 acres. And then over here off of Parker, here it is, the Arbor Hills, that's in West Plano. That's like 300 acres, and it's beautiful to go walk there. We've even brought cake and pizza and done a little birthday celebration there before. You've got, let's see, East Plano just has a little bit different feel, like a little bit older. Central Plano built out more 80s, 90s. And West Plano is more like the 90s. And when you get up here towards Legacy, all this stuff happening in Legacy, it's even later, like 2000s. There's townhomes and stuff like that. Now let me show you this area here, all on the toll road. Here on the toll road and Legacy is really a hot spot. People like to come here because you've got Legacy West. And I take you through that in one of my videos. You've got, like, you come up Preston Road here at Legacy and Tennyson, kind of in between here. This was the previous EDS location. You've also got the, let's see, that's where EDS was. A place I've been to a lot here is CALE, the Center for American International Law. They actually, that's sort of an attorney place up in there for some CLEs, some training, but it has some artifacts from the Nuremberg trial in the lobby. I think anybody could see those. Those were interesting if you're interested in that history. We've got, so lots of, like, this is like, these are really pretty streets and drives, very corporate. This is what then brought more of the big buildings here to Dallas. I love this area here. Blue Mesa is one of my favorite restaurants. And if you go in the evening, you can walk around, see this little water feature. There's just restaurants all along here in this water feature. And it's a really pretty little area. It's Granite Park, and there's also some office spaces here. So here's Legacy West, and parking's back here. And there are a few places you can valet, all kinds of restaurants and high-end shopping. Also here, Capitol Grill, Mexican Sugar. This is on the other side of the tollway. You kind of got to decide which area you want to explore. This one has probably more shopping. This one's more restaurants, but they're both great. And then you also have shops at Legacy here off Bishop Road. Half Shells, that's a good place to eat. there's a little parking lot here and a Starbucks and some things like that. All the shopping is just, it's fun. We've got a USAA building here. This west side feels very corporate, and everything feels very new, and it feels a lot more like Frisco. I would say a lot of people come from Frisco to come down here to do things. Here's the Heritage Farmstead Museum. Little step back in time to see what Plano was like with the some of the early settlers, like late 1800s, early 1800s. And that's really a fun place to go for especially kids. There are some other great like mom and pop kind of restaurants more along in here. Now when we get to Preston Road and Park, there's a large concentration. There's another Katy Trail Ice House. You can take your pups there and sit outside. That's really nice. Zorba's, that's one of my favorite Greek places. Oh gosh, well that's in Dallas. Well, just into Dallas, got Lavendo's and Cadeau's. Those are two of my favorite French restaurants. And let's see, I want to show you a lot of what's happening kind of in West Plano, because that is kind of where a lot of the new things are happening. Is you come up Preston here, and you can turn on Legacy, you can turn on Tennyson. This area in here, all of this is very corporate. You've got the Toyota headquarters here off Legacy. Now you've got, this is all very high-end shopping. I'm not sure there is a bad restaurant up here. Here's Legacy West, and you can park kind of along the tollway back behind. You turn in here and you can turn into the parking. All kinds of great restaurants here. Del Frisco's, Foco de Chao, Shake Shack is good, Tommy Bahama, that Spanish place with a paella. You've got a Benihana in here. You kind of got to pick where you're going to go. You got a Mexican Sugar over here. That's Legacy West. Okay, here. So I wanted to pull up this little map. This is one of the things that, working with my team and I, we can provide to you when we're looking at houses in an area. If you are concerned, like maybe I won't be here a long time, you might want to think about not just what it's costing you, but what it might make you down the road. And when we look at 75074 here, 75074, that zip code since 2022, last 3 years. And that's a little bit more East Plano. That has gone down 0.674%. It's gone down a little bit. From the time, you can always check the date of when this was reported. This in more the central Plano, which is 75075, the green line here, this one, it's gone down 22.1%. Now that doesn't mean over, like, when you buy real estate, you've got to be thinking 5 years generally. But if you're thinking, hey, I might not be here 5 years, or I want to see my equity go up more than that, we can at least look at what's happened historically. The whole MLS, this blue line, is down 2.7%, not a huge amount. But look at this, 75093, this red line, 2022 average price, 800,000. Well, okay, it did take just a dip here. But overall, it looks like it's up 21.1%. So that's West Plano. So that's something to think about. If you are, when we're moving, like when you're moving and you're picking a house, we want to look at all of the data. And Texas, by the way, is a right to know state. That means that people do not have to disclose what they sold their house for. So it is something that we have access to. We can't share with everybody, but we could share with you on an individual basis, digging in and seeing what other homes are being sold for in the area and pulling comps, make sure that, where you're making an offer makes sense for you and your situation. But there's just a lot of data here, and it kind of means something over time. So you have certain areas in the last year or so that don't have the resale value. They, like if you bought a year ago, it's already gone down some. So we can look at that history and try to make some educated predictions about where your property value might go. There are pockets that I think are just really hot right now. You're going to see a lot of equity if you buy in those areas now versus some areas you might feel like you're getting a good deal, but like, let's look at what is happening overall in that area so you can make a more educated decision. Wow, look at that. Houses built 2010 and over. So if you got a house, wow, built 2022 or newer, this is just this year. Wow, that's gone up 8 million. Something has really skewed that data, I think, that sold.